Hi, my name is Jodie, and this is my first video assignment for systems thinking. So at first I had no idea about system thinking, and after a few classes I'm beginning to understand why system thinking is important in every aspect of our lives. So here goes. This video is going to be about what I have learned in the class, and to make that easier I've made an outline of it. First, what is systems thinking? And the second, why is systems thinking important to us? To understand about systems thinking, first we have to know about system. A system is an entity which maintains its existence through the mutual interaction of its parts. Or, a system is a group of interacting, interrelated, or interdependent components that form a complex and a unified whole. An example I'm going to use here is the digestive system. Next, a system is arranged in a specific way and they must carry out their specific purposes. Like in the digestive system, the organs are arranged in a specific order and they are to carry their own purposes. Next, a system is interdependent. They need each other. In a digestive system, one organ in the digestive system needs the others to complete its purpose. Next, a system maintains its stability through fluctuations and adjustments. And the last, a system have feedback. Feedback is the transmission and return of information. From feedbacks, we can make adjustments to correct our doings because feedbacks provide the catalyst for a change in our behavior. This is the pyramid of the society view today. Why is it important for us to understand its structure? Because it is the system structure that gives rise to all the events and trends in society. Now, let's look at the pyramid. Events is placed on top. Why? Because our society is event-focused. We can only react to them, and the decisions made are short-term decisions. And once we understand this event structure, the next step is the pattern structure. Patterns let us understand reality at a deeper level. The advantage of thinking in this level is that we can focus on exploring on how the series of events could happen and what has caused them. And finally, to anticipate events and patterns, we need to think deeper in the level of structure. Now, thinking in the structural level means we are thinking in terms of causal connections. To address the problems in the real world, we need to think about the structure that gives rise to the pattern and eventually the event itself. At this structural level, we can shape the future as how we want it to be because the actions that are taken are creative and different. So what is systems thinking? Systems thinking studies systems from the perspective of the whole system, its various subsystems, and the recurring patterns in the relationships between the subsystems. System theory has greatly influenced on how we understand and change organizations. So if there's a problem, we study the patterns and the causes so that we can develop a good strategy to solve it. Also, as it is said before, system is interdependent and they need each other. So the way of thinking is based on the words whole and relationship. From the last classes, we had a beer game and we were told the penguin story. Both of them teach us something. They teach us to think ahead of problems, consider the long-term effects of things rather than the short term, because it really is important to think about the future. Next, it helps us to analyze from different views so we can solve the problems easily and effectively, like to think outside the box and decide the best options for the best outcome in the long term ahead. Now, system thinking is very important in our life. Why? Well, first, it gives us a view of reality. We can identify and learn the patterns and trends in a real-life problem. That way, perhaps it can help us to understand society in a better way so that we can be a good part of the system. Next, it helps us think about problems and develop solutions from a holistic view. With system thinking, we can find the main source or the roots of the problem and then we can understand the problem and why it happened. We can look at the big picture, and finally, we can develop strategies to solve that problem. And the last, to manage change. Our world is in a constant change, so organizations need to be ready to change, adapt to that change, and manage that change. We can relate system thinking to a real life problem. Example, a company experiences a decline in their sales. With system thinking, they can analyze and look back to the past on why it happened. Perhaps there were not enough product developers, or there could be a mistake in the product development, or maybe the new product is introduced late into the market. There may be various reasons. With this wider view, we can see why this crisis started in the beginning, and perhaps the company can find a good solution to this problem, like perhaps monitoring the product development or developing a better marketing strategy and targeting it to the right market segment. That way, they can solve the problem effectively with system thinking. So that's basically the end of my first assignment. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.